California time because he's on California time. So,
I
good morning, Mr. Curtis. How are you?
Man, I'm good. I've actually, believe it or not, I've been up teaching for almost 3 hours now. So I'm awake. I'm here. I'm a little sleepy, but I'm good. I'm happy. I'm just
And how
grateful
does
that
it
I
get
get to
even
bring
better?
you with me anywhere in the world. How
I
does
love
it get
that.
any better?
How lucky are we? Just think about it. Like just 10 years ago, we wouldn't have been able, not even 10 years ago, we would not have been able to do this.
That's true.
Isn't that
Absolutely not.
crazy? Like, talk about big picture. What is it that we would like to do now that we don't have the ability to do or we don't have the technology to do that in 10 years we're going to be able to be pros at it? How cool is
That's
that?
exciting. That really
I
is.
know. I
Or
know.
some 3-year-old's going to be a pro because they're just going to intuitively be born knowing all of it, right?
Exactly. Exactly. I'm excited about people being able to communicate telepathically. That's my dream.
Well, we're starting to, and I think you're a really great example of tools of that it's possible. And that's one thing I learned from you, and I share with my friends that I learned to hone my intuition, but also I used to say, "Oh, I'm an empath," and I have clients be like, "Oh, I'm an empath too. Great, we're both empaths." That, the longer I live, the more it's become known to me that we're all empaths. We all have
Yeah.
intuition. We all
Yeah.
can connect to that. It's just a muscle, right?
Yeah.
It's
Exactly. It's a skill.
a
And
skill.
this is a great opportunity. I'm sorry, but I cannot miss the opportunity to tell everyone that this weekend I am teaching a basic theta healing class, which is all about
Ooh.
how to access your intuition, which my dear student and friend Benjamin Curtis uh, took and was a part of. And if it sounds light for you, please come play. Come play.
Yes.
You
I
know?
highly, highly recommend it. And you
Yeah,
apologized before you shared this, though, Daniel. So would you
I
like
did.
to remove that apology?
Yes, I would like to remove that apology.
Great.
Thank you. I
Because
really
that's
appreciate
that is a
that.
powerful space which needs no apology. In fact, I really want to acknowledge it. It's because of theta healing that I've met Daniel, and maybe many things, but that's one of the ways that brought us together. And through my
Yeah.
wife, Cassie Fireman, getting certified and going through this program, and how much I literally watched it changing her. We were on the road, we were in Los Angeles and California, and living our dreams, and also nomadic. We didn't have a place to live, and watching how this power of this healing and getting in, really accessing your own healing and your own inner healer and intuitive, it was incredible. And so I decided to stop talking about it and do it as well, and just to get to spend that time with Daniel and really gain some simple, powerful tools for healing and growth and harnessing your potential and your intuition. I cannot recommend it enough. It was
Thank you.
a wonderful course. I think I part of me would like to do it again, even just as a refresher, but there's so
Yeah.
much great stuff. So if you're looking for where to start on this path and you're interested at all, I highly recommend just diving in, just clearing your schedule. It'll be totally worth it. Everyone in your life will thank you later too.
It's
So
true.
whoever you
It's
have to
very true.
cancel on to be there, you can offer
Go
them
for
free
it.
healing. To be like, I'm gonna do this thing, and I'll send you. We can do still healing afterwards.
Exactly. Exactly. So, how has your week been? First of all, thank you for all of that and for that beautiful testimonial about the power of the class. So, how's your week been like? What's been coming
Mm.
up for you?
So I'm talking. Well, speaking to seeing the bigger picture, my week has been wild. It is. I have really felt the supermoon. It's brought up a lot of energy between myself and my partner, and I've been leading a retreat. So people who, it's called Balance Guitar. I talked about it last week, but it's a guitar yoga surf retreat. Really, what it is though is it's an experience for anyone who's aspiring to learn to listen and express themselves creatively in a really beautiful healing environment. That's what it's for, because that that empty space inside of us is the same space inside of a guitar, inside of our heads, inside of everything where the magic and the music happens. And so we teach people how to play guitar, but really how to understand intuitively their instrument, and then also how to understand their bodies. And
So
we
cool.
had lawyers, we had a teenager, we had a Broadway producer, we had a lot of different kinds of people, men and women, old and young, and we also had everything go wrong that possibly could have. Almost everything.
Funny how that
Um,
works, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, like hostile neighbors. We lost four different chefs we had hired to COVID, to freak accidents. I mean, one even it was. I'm not even going to go into the drama. It's a long story, but through all of this, and I finally, one of them who I'd hired was going to be my wife's ex-husband, who's a famous bullfighter from
Wow,
Venezuela, and he's now a
that's amazing.
chef here in San Diego, thanks
Uh-huh.
to meeting Cassie. So we've grown so much. We were arch enemies at the beginning of this marriage, and now we're best friends. And he was going to cook for us, and he was one person who had to cancel last minute, which started this downward spiral. But I ended up inviting him over, and I cooked for everyone. And literally every single day of the retreat, another cook was hired and another didn't show up. And then we had a teenager who was allergic to nuts, was fed nuts, had a severe reaction. We had a dog that was allergic to bee stings, gets stung by a bee, and its face swells shut. And I had to rush it to the
Wow.
emergency room.
Aw.
Literally up until the last day, there was always some, felt like
Right.
big drama.
So is
And
the retreat over with now?
it's
Was it done?
over. And
Nice.
what's interesting is every time I receive this information,
Hmm.
I would play music from my phone, and it would be during the yoga and during a meditation, like the most quietest time, like something would happen. Oh, we also had a baby living next door, which the building next door is about 5 feet away, and this baby had
Ah.
colic, so it cried 8 hours a day.
Oh.
The garbage trucks in this area were insane. The party life was insane. So it just, to the point, I felt like by the end of the week I became a Buddha. Like I could have just cried every day. Oh, my mom went into the hospital, like broke her hip badly, and just all this stuff. There was tension between my partner and I literally could have just been in tears. But I
So
kept
what's the big
remembering.
picture? So let's take
Well,
all of
I'm gonna
this.
tell you though. But I kept
Okay.
remembering the
All right.
question:
Uh-huh.
what's right about this that I'm not getting? I
That's
kept
right.
hearing Daniel's voice. How could I create, like I'm looking at the low, like all the dramas and stuff, but what's how could this turn out better than I could ever imagine? And out of all of this,
Hmm.
the amount of healing and transformation that came about, the amount of letting go that I had to do, the amount of asking for help that I had to do, all that was happening was I was being served again and again an opportunity to stop trying to control everything
Uh-huh.
and every detail and let go and trust the universe and trust my group. And the group became so strong because we each cooked our favorite dish by the end of the week. We each healed and grew profoundly in ways that we couldn't imagine because we went through it together.
Wow.
And the opportunity continues to be for me was letting go and asking for help.
Right.
So
See,
inside of this
that's
intense week, I mean, it's a long answer to the question like how was my week, but it was intense, and there's a great opportunity to let go. Just like
sure.
let go or be dragged.
Right, exactly. And isn't it interesting too, like everything that you said, like when you describe something like I'm so into it, I'm so in it, like I feel it, like I'm right there, and I feel the drama, and I feel the coach, and I feel the cook, and I feel the kid, and I feel it all, and I'm like, oh my God, right? Which is what it kind of feels like when we're in it, that there
Yeah.
is nothing else, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that's why I think that one of the things that has been such a real huge reminder and awareness for me this week is really to see the big picture, right?
Mm.
Really, when we're in it, when we're in the drama, in the trauma, in the fear and the doubt and the uncertainty,
Mm.
just to be like, you know what, even if we just acknowledge, like, you know what, I don't really know what the big picture is here, but I know that there is a big picture, and I know that this is just like a video game, right? You're in the video game and you're like, oh God, how am I going to get out of this level? How am I going to go to the next level? and you don't know how you're going to do it, but you know that you're going to, because that's a part of the journey. You know you're going to beat this level, and you keep thinking, wait, am I going to have to go back? 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 And the thing is that it doesn't matter whether you do have to go back or not. It's knowing that you will always, always, always find that place where you've learned that lesson, you've graduated, you've moved on, right? And that is for me what tapping into the big picture means. Tapping into the big picture is maybe not knowing how it's going to work out, but just to know that this is not it. This is
Yeah.
not it. This trauma
Yeah.
and drama is not it. There's so much more
Yeah.
here for us, you know?
Yeah, I just and also gaining some aspects through lightness, through asking,
Hmm.
through the fact that I received a lot of these messages while I was sitting in stillness, and that I
Yeah,
could invite the group to just, because I was settled about it. No one
sure.
had any freak out. There was no reason for anyone else to worry, because other people were like, "Oh my God, what are we gonna do?" Um, and I just said, don't worry. We're just gonna take some time, and we're gonna like think about it, and we're gonna create something.
Yeah.
And eventually, it allowed something new to come. So I wonder when in our life, and I actually was wondering, like, I was praying about it too during the time, because I've really worked on not attracting drama into my life, and so I was able to let it go. But I could see, I had a feeling maybe there's sometimes some other energies that were participating that were
For
attracting
sure.
drama. And so just being with them as they were, and
Uh-huh.
just loving people unconditionally.
Sure.
And so I wonder how to sort of, for you, what's the access when you're in the moment of that drama around other people? And if you're are sensitive, I often can take on someone else's drama. The
100%.
ways that you are able to gain access to the bigger picture
I love what you
and
said.
trust.
Yes, yes, yes. I love what you said right before we jumped on this call, Ben. You said, what what about learning to trust myself? Right?
Mm,
And learning to trust yourself, if we can truly, truly learn to trust ourselves, then what I am aware of is that we're actually are trusting the big picture, because the universe is inside of us. Okay.
mm,
And if the universe is inside of us, think of it this way. I know this is a really, really huge metaphysical like fart, but imagine that the universe is inside of you. Okay. And if the universe is inside of you, so are all people, places, situations, and things. Okay, so that then we take it on, right? We start to feel that sensitivity. We start to feel that that empathy, that connection, that all of this. That's that tool where we go, okay, you know what? I can choose to honor, to send this person, or to send this person some energy without taking it on. And that's why I love our "Who does this belong to" tool, right?
mm.
When you find yourself in those situations that feel overwhelming, and you know that it is something that is, I'm going to say, beyond you. Just having the awareness to say, you know what, who does this belong to? And a lot of people say, well, how do I know when to use that tool? You use that tool anytime you're feeling something you don't want to feel, period.
Mm.
If you feel anger, sadness, frustration, whatever, asking who does this belong to is going to create the awareness for you to let go of it. It's not important who it belongs to. It is
That's
not
that's that's very
important.
key. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't sit there and try to figure out and play detective who it belongs to. You just send it back to the universe. Because sending it back to the universe is what says, hey, you know what, universe, you can take care of this. I'm good. Right. And again, that energy that is within you, that energy knows that it's going to be handled. So then we don't get caught up in the who's, what, when, where, why's. We're, for lack of a better term, surrendering to a higher energy, a higher power,
Mm.
right? And again, you ask me how I do it, how I do it, how I do it. And for me, it is just about being in the question, Ben, being in the question and not trying to figure things out.
Mm.
And as long as I'm in the question, I know other energy can support me. But if I'm in conclusion or expectation, I got nothing, because that's what's going to
Mm.
show up.
Mm. Mm. In conclusion or expectation. So
Yeah.
it's almost like knowing a result, already having your mind made up, or having a very clear expectation. So that's something I want to highlight is expectations, because
Okay.
I find a lot of our, so in this example of my retreat this week,
Mm-hmm.
many expectations were not met, right?
Okay.
And I find that in relationships, often humans let each other down. We
Mm-hmm.
may have expectations for life or for each other, but those expectations aren't always met. So, where do we allow those expectations to be? I've noticed when people are in fear, sometimes controlling things helps us feel better, or a sense
Absolutely.
of feeling better, the illusion of feeling better. If I just keep tidying things up, if I take care of this person, if I focus on that, if I can just control this, then maybe I won't have to worry about that, right? And trying to create some expectation, some outcome. And ultimately, like, the universe may never completely meet it in that way, right? Because it could be even greater than your expectations. So I found when we have these expectations and our partners fall short of that, especially in relationship, um, or events, or people let us down, that it's an opportunity again to ask a question like, what's right about this that I'm not getting?
Mm-hmm.
And to use that to actually to question, to
Yeah.
and that even can say, who does this belong to, this energy, this anger that I'm upset because someone's not meeting my expectations, and
Yeah.
I'm and are you meeting your own needs and expectations? One thing that allows me to see the bigger picture is to pause, to take some time for stillness, to listen, to practice letting go, and also to practice releasing my expectations, to stay curious,
Mm-hmm. That's
to
right.
stay curious. Especially, I've just noticed it a lot with my partner and I. We've been very frustrated with each other, and I've even said, like, I think I even said in the argument, can you just like get curious about me? Like, you have this listening of me like I'm this one way. Like, consider. And my partner loves to tell me like, I'm many colors, and I'm like, oh, I know, honey. So consider that I am too, right? That we are no fixed thing, and that we can stay curious about each other, because that'll allow our relationship to continue to move past whatever we think we're stuck on and have to fix, right? Could we just
Mm-hmm.
stay curious? Can more be revealed? Can we trust that we're being taken care of?
Yes. Exactly. I think that's so beautiful too, because, oftentimes, especially when there are the people that we're the closest to, oftentimes we've been conditioned to have expectations of them,
Hmm.
right?
Oh, yeah.
We've been conditioned. Look at the vows that we take when we walk down the aisle. We
I was
say
just
till
going to say, like, wife, husband, like,
till
ownership.
death do us part,
Yeah, no matter
right?
what, even if we're in an abusive, horrible, toxic relationship,
Totally, totally. And what is that
we stick it out.
expectation? Yes.
Mm.
And what is that? What is that expectation? And what if it was one of my teachers, Vienna Steibel, founder of Theta Healing, actually, she and her husband, Guy, they get married every 3 years.
Oh, I love that.
Exactly. And she says, what that does is, and it follows one of the old Indian tribe rituals that she really,
Hmm.
really loves. And basically, like, I think it's like 3 months before the end of the third year, you actually sit down and you talk about everything magical that happened in those 3 years, all of
Mm.
the beautiful things, everything that you learned, everything that you've been through, everything you've manifested, and you invite your partner. Would you like to marry me again?
Mm.
And in that invitation, you're also saying, I am going to completely, completely, completely um, I'm going to say re fall in love with you again. I'm going to re fall in love with the possibilities. I'm going to reawaken the curiosity of what it means to date you. And then for those last few months, you go back to that point where you date your partner again,
Mm.
right? And then you get married again. So every three
Mm.
years the cycle continues, so that there's a space in which you feel that energy of never expecting that the person is going to spend the rest of your life with you, because you get cranky, you get exhausted, you get to this point of like, she should know me by now, or I should know her by now, or I know what she wants, or I know. But what if you don't? And
Mm,
that's the great thing about it. What if you don't?
mm,
And so being in, like you said, in that, being excited, being in curiosity, being in play with that energy kind of invites you to constantly create new things. Now, I will tell you, I took it a little bit further. And I would say just about every single day, I ask and I invite Guillermo. I ask him if he wants to
mm,
be my partner.
mm.
And if first in the
I love
beginning,
that.
he was like, "What are you talking about? Of course, I am your partner. I am this. I'm that." I'm like, "Nope," because I'm not the person that I was yesterday. And I don't think you are either. And so I want to get to know this person. I want to meet this person. I want to marry this person. I want to come into curiosity and play with this person. So when we relieve ourselves of those expectations, then there's the space to play, man. What if life was just about playing and having
Mm,
fun? And if we could rise up and see the big picture and, what if the purpose of life was just to have fun? you know, and to dance and sing and get up and do your thing and just, I mean,
I
what
love it.
if that was it? And it's just to ask the question, guys. And we're not saying that you have to live by spending your day having fun right away, but you could ask, what if? What if the purpose of life was to have fun?
What if I could have fun doing the dishes, picking up trash, helping this person, doing the job I've been putting off? What if I could have fun doing my taxes?
Or what
Ooh.
if I could have fun making so much money that I could invite and hire people who actually do that superiorly than I do into my experience
Mm,
so that they can do it.
mm. Okay, there's some abundance. Invite that in too.
Okay?
How does
Yeah.
it get any better? And
Yeah.
how can we create greater?
That's
So,
right.
even when we're trying to, I want to close with this.
Mhm.
Even when we're trying to fix uh, something, oh man, am I going to lose this? Even if, yes, even if we are, I've got it. Even if we are, okay, so especially when we have fixed expectations and we want a certain outcome, we still are narrowing, closing ourselves off to the greater possibilities.
Mhm.
When you ask how could it get any better, like maybe your view, which you think is like this huge thing you're holding someone up to,
Mhm.
maybe there's something even bigger than that,
Yeah.
right?
That's
So
right.
staying curious, I think, is beautiful.
Yep. That's right.
I have I get to go teach wellness to some corporate giants right now. Bring this
Awesome.
conversation of curiosity and healing and self care and trust to them. So I'm gonna close, and I want to close with saying thank you, each and every one of you, for being here. You showing up, whether today is your first time hearing us or your regular, thank you. If you don't know about our podcast, Wake Up Wednesdays with Ben Curtis and Daniel Tuttle, sometimes you have to type in our names to find it online, but the link is in our bios here. And we would love to have you listen to our podcast. If you like this, subscribe and share it with someone.
Yes,
Comment
please.
on what resonated. And if there's anything you want us to talk about, send us a message. We would love
Please.
to find out what's important to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Jason. Thank you to everyone who's listening, past, present, and future. We love you. We adore you. We appreciate you. And thanks for your contribution.
We're
We'll
so
see you next
grateful.
week.
Thank you, Daniel. Have a
Bye,
beautiful
guys.
day. Take care, everyone. Bye.